Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, and who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, do about tag on I got it in the bag, man. I'm getting all type of cash, I'm a general truth. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Penny pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run it with Johnson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And now running right through it. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Rosen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. They were looking for Johnson that time. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know, some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem.
And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Dawson tacks on the point after, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Leaves it for Penny. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaunt. On second down, here's Wilson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Penny, a first down carry, and a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. It's caught. Nelson. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit! Check three. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
We keep talking about the impact that hybrid players have had on the NFL, those guys who can do multiple things. I think Cam Chancellor fits that perfectly. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? No, he's a football player.
And they love him in Seattle. He's been there ever since he came in the league in 2010. Now a handoff. Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On the ground, this is Johnson. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. More from the desert after this. Now Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a 1st down.
Now it's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
To throw is Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dayon Buchanan coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to Max.
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And it's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
Lets it go for Nelson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Bryce Butler, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
The Cardinals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And they punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And out now come the Seahawks. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
14.
On second down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. So we reach. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They go to Johnson again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Rosen will throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nazir Jones in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
To throw is Wilson. Looking to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They run it with Carson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And now it's Rosen looking. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Here's Rosen to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here's Carson. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU.
That is touchdown number 1 of the NFL career of former Aztec Rashad Penny, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40. 20, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have broken the tie. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, Wilson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Back now here on EA Sports. Now a play fake here on first down. He lets it fly for Lockett. This is caught inside the 15. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 1 yard is the gain there. It'll bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run it.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Marcus Golden in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Corey Peters in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. On the return is Peterson. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Rosen now off the bootleg. He sets to fire deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie. And you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Wilson operating from the gun. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, they're just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. From the gun, Wilson dancing to his left. Got some room at the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he rifles one incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. And it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Wilson forced out to his left. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this defense will take over right at midfield. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. And sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Dawson able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
To throw on 2nd down. Wilson stepping up. He's going to keep it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 49 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll run it here with Logan, and he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
4 down.
Here's Rosen. Throw left side, caught by Butler.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now it's Wilson, dancing to his left. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trey Boston. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams